Hello, I'm Elaine.Bayless, and I'm going to talk to you today about setting a vision and breaking it down into SMART goals so that you can achieve that vision. You want to go from visions to goals in order to actually achieve your vision. What we're going to talk about today is actually breaking down your vision into SMART goals, which is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-specific. There's two basic ways to break down your vision. The first is called the systematic method. The second is the journaling method. We're going to go over both of these. Once you've broken down your vision into steps, you then create SMART goals and test each goal for smartness. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bounded, time-specific. So let's talk about the systematic method of breaking down your vision. What you want to do is analyze your vision and look at what the separate overall steps are. So let's say your vision for the year is to get in shape. That's a great vision. It's big, it's bold, it can encompass a lot of things. So now let's analyze it. What does get in shape mean to you? It could mean losing weight. It could mean building muscle. It could mean achieving a fitness goal, like being able to do a certain number of pull-ups or running a marathon. It could mean changing your eating habits. It could be something like quitting smoking. So once you've kind of thought through all the different aspects of what getting in shape means, you want to start thinking about prerequisites. If you want to run a marathon and you're a smoker, you may need to quit smoking before you run the marathon. Now, you may not, but that's probably a prerequisite. If getting in shape includes regular gym workouts, then you're going to need to join a gym. You may not be a gym member, in which case that's a prerequisite. Going back even further on that, you may need to arrange for childcare. If your children aren't in preschool or school, you're going to need childcare either at your house or a gym that provides it at a reasonable rate. So again, that's a prerequisite. Once you've listed down your prerequisites, your dependencies, you create a list of steps in the order of those dependencies. So quitting smoking might be your first step. Finding childcare or a gym might be your second step. Or alternatively, if you're going to run a marathon, you might need to research different marathon training programs and find a marathon to register for and run in. Once you've created your list of steps in the order of dependency, then you're going to break down each step into your SMART goals. And that is basically the systematic method of breaking down your vision. Now there's also the journaling method. This way is much more sort of intuitive. It's a very different sort of approach. So you're going to find one of these approaches suits you better. For the journaling method, you're going to state your completion date. And then you're going to choose 3 more dates at the 25, 50, and 75% completion marks. So, in my example, your completion date of getting in shape is December 31st, 2013. 75% date is September 30th. 50% date is June 30th. 25% date is March 31st. So you're going to write an entry for each of those dates working backwards in time, which means you're going to start with your December 31st, 2013 journal entry. And maybe it would go something like this. I feel great. In the last 12 months, I've lost 20 pounds. I can fit into size 10 clothes. I quit smoking, and I cut soda completely out of my diet. Maybe I ran a 5K. Then you go to your September 30th, 2013. Now you're writing this in the present tense as if everything has happened, but you're completely making it up. So you think, September 30th, okay, I lost 20 pounds. It's September 30th, I've lost 20 pounds, I've run a 5K, and I've cut soda out of my diet, but I'm still trying to quit smoking. Then you go to June 30th and you say, this is great, I'm training for the 5K, I've lost 10 pounds, and I've started eating 3 servings of vegetables a day. Then on March 31st, your entry might be, I joined a gym and I'm making a meal plan each week that includes vegetables and fruits. So you can see how as you're working backwards, you start to sort of see how you're moving through and what matters, because what comes up for you, you'll be surprised. You'll be like, oh, I didn't realize I needed to eat more vegetables, but yeah, eating vegetables would be a great way to get into shape. So you go through your entries, you look for the intermediate steps, and then you're going to break down those steps into SMART goals. So, what is a SMART goal? It's specific. So you got to test your goals. Think about, are these goals SMART? Because the SMART goals are what give you the power. Specificity. If you can't say it in one sentence or less, it's not specific enough. That's not the only test for this, though, because you can say something like, I will get in shape this year, in one sentence. So one sentence is one way to test it. Another thing to think about is it very, very specific? Are you saying details like, I am going to lose 20 pounds, or I'm going to be able to bench press 50 pounds? Specificity is the key. Measurable. This will also help you with the specificity. Can an outsider looking into your life without knowing your vision determine whether or not you achieved your goal? If an external person cannot determine whether or not your goal was achieved, it's not measurable. This means you can't have a goal about changing your attitude. That's something that only you can change. That doesn't mean you can't set a goal around it, just that that goal is not necessarily a SMART goal. Is your goal achievable? This is where I see the most people mess up. People are by and large very optimistic. You've got to think about your time, your resources, and you've got to think about a backup plan. So, is it achievable? Is it realistic? You say, I'm going to work out 5 days a week. Great. That's wonderful. When are you going to work out? Well, I think they have a class at 7 p.m. Okay. Well, find out if they have a class at 7 p.m. And then talk to your husband and see if he's willing to put your kids to bed, your partner, whoever, your child care provider. Are they willing to put your kids to bed every night at 7 p.m. while you're working out? You may need to try the class. You might hate the class. It might hurt your back. It might hurt your knees. So, think about your time and your resources. And if you need to scale back, you need to scale back. Maybe what you do is you say, I'm going to try 2 different classes or 3 different classes at my gym this week. And you pick times that your child's in preschool, or you have somebody who can watch your child, that sort of thing. Then you have a backup plan. So, for example, I personally try to work out twice a week. So I sit down every Sunday night and I schedule 4 workout times. My goal is only 2, but I put in 4 because that way I have a backup plan. If I don't get to it on Monday, I've scheduled time for it on Tuesday. This is really a really important thing, and I encourage people to set the bar low. Say, if you want to work out 5 times a week, say you're going to work out 3, and then schedule 5. That way you will have met your goal, which gives you positive momentum, and anything above that is gravy. Is your goal relevant? This can be tricky, and this is one where you really need to be in touch with what your vision is. If your vision is to get in shape, quitting smoking may be a very essential part of that. So quitting smoking could be very relevant to your goal. However, if your vision doesn't include getting in shape, maybe your vision is just losing 20 pounds, well, quitting smoking is a great goal, but it's not directly related to your vision. So you want to look for where it ties in. On the other hand, you might have a goal as find a good babysitter, which doesn't seem like it's related to getting in shape, but if you can only work out when you have a babysitter, it is directly related to your vision. Finally, time bounded. Is there a deadline? Calendar date or specific time of day? You want to give yourself a deadline. A lot of people are deadline driven, which means having a deadline is the only way they will get it done. Some people are not deadline driven, but Having a deadline helps you avoid that little voice in your head that says, it's okay if you don't do it next week. You can do it, week after next. It really requires you to honor your word. So that's a really important one, to have a deadline. So I encourage everyone to spend some time looking at your vision, your goal, your dream for your life, and break it down. Create some SMART goals. I would love to help you out. This is something that I do in my own life all the time. I've helped lots of people do this. You can contact me at my email, which is guide@soulcourse.com, or call me at 919-376-3738. The first coaching session with me is free all the time, and we can meet in person or on the phone. Have a great day.